voted to enter into an exclusive negotiation agreement with the African American Sports and Entertainment Group for the city's half of the Coliseum's land. This is a big deal, as they were really put in a position about this land by the A's and Dave Stewart, his group, with competing things, with competing proposals, which, if you've been following this, the A's kind of dropped out of sight. They had initially made an agreement or a proposal to buy the other half of the land. They own 50% or they own the county's 50% of the Coliseum, or will own it soon, but wanted to buy the other 50% so that they can develop the land completely on their own. As the Howard Terminal project gained steam, they turned their focus to that, and then as well as a couple other groups, several groups had come into play. I believe Floyd Kephart, if you guys remember that guy's name, had initially thrown something in there. There's a few other guys, and then Ray Bobbitt, who's a local guy. A lot of people know Ray Bobbitt mainly for spearheading the lawsuit against the NFL, which I believe is still going. I have no idea what's going on with that these days. Ray's team, they've been doing the legwork. They've been doing the community outreach. They've been dealing with everybody in a very open and refreshing sort of way, because it's not all behind the scenes stuff. They've been pretty open about what they want to do. They've had plans the whole time. And then we have kind of a latecomer as this is going on, a group led by former Oakland A's pitcher, Dave Stewart, and his, I believe it's his wife, Lonnie Murray, and they put together a group with an opposing proposal, which they seem to have a lot in common with the A's, and I had ventured to say that they may have been working in a sort of for the A's, as a kind of a proxy for the A's. And what was missing this whole time is real solid plans. The Stewart Group has a long list of developers and money. They have, as of the other day, they got Damian Lillard, they've got Ricky Henderson, several, notable names who are kind of big names to power a project like this. But when what became very apparent through the council meeting and their comments was that Dave Stewart's group was invisible, really, and that AASEG was out there really getting information and pressing the flesh is what they call it, getting out there and talking to actual people and finding out what the community wants, not what the developer wants. And they got a lot of praise for that, and I think that opened the city council to really going and pushing this. It looked like for a minute that it was going to be tabled till January because they didn't have enough information. But this would have been, I think, the second or third time that Dave Stewart's group has come forward without any information. There's supposed to put, they were supposed to bring a proposal. Apparently, they showed it to a small group last night and some city council members, but the general public has never had a chance to see what they're really doing. And then when Lonnie Murray actually made her presentation today, it seemed like she was picking a lot of stuff that the AASEG was doing. They kind of It's kind of a problem with them is they badmouthed a lot in the social media. They got down on the city council because they're dragging their feet or whatever else. But when it came time to get it done, they weren't ready. They didn't have the numbers. They didn't have the materials. They don't have anything to show. And I'd love to see what they have. I think they would be a very capable team, but they didn't seem to be coordinated. One of their main developer dropped out as of today, apparently. They're uncoordinated. They're late. They're really just late to the game. And it would have been for something like this, and the size of the Coliseum property and the amount of money we're talking about, you can't come and do it half-assed. You really can't. And I realize that Ray doesn't have quite that resume that those guys were doing. That they have. He doesn't have the star power, but Ray did the work. Ray went out, and his guys went out there and did the work and made it happen. And I wish him nothing but the best. I really wished I could have seen an actual competing proposal other than a bunch of words and rhetoric on Twitter, but it just didn't happen. It was too little, too late. If it would have really been nice to see some drawings, some legitimate work going into it. And Dave Stewart says, well, I do a lot of work, but I don't do it in the public eye. In a project like this, where you're trying to buy the public's land and you're trying to sway the publicly elected officials and the public themselves, you have to do the work, and you better get out there, and you need to promote yourself. Self-promotion is a big deal. I love Dave Stewart, but he's a really quiet guy. He doesn't seem like a guy who likes to self-promote a whole lot. And I think that ultimately killed them. They could have had all the numbers in the world that would side with them, why this is a great project. I mean, they're talking like they could put all the money down cash today, but at the end of the day, they didn't have a real solid proposal with information, and we want to see drawings. I mean, I'm a visual artist. That's really what I do. My background is in visuals. I want to see anything. I want to see sketches on a napkin. I want to see 3D renderings. I want to see some weird Photoshop. I want to see something. Give me something that says, this is my plan. This is my great idea. I mean, you can sit there and write down words all you want, but when you send it to the patent office, they want to see drawings. And that's the same with me. I want to see drawings. And I'm trying not to promote all the stuff that's around here. I'm at the mall down here in San Jose doing some work. But been listening to the meeting all day. I called in support of AASEG. And like I said, I would love to give other people support, but they didn't bring it to the public. And that was really what was necessary, was Dave Stewart didn't bring it to the public. All the backbiting and Twitter garbage probably was a bit too much too. And you gotta hand it to Ray. Ray was really engaging, not with just the city council and not just the people, but he was going out there and he's talking to unions, and he's talking to the guys who are really going to make this project happen, the labor. He's also talking. Am I still here? If somebody can actually comment and let me know if I'm still online, that'd be great, because I have no idea. Real quick, just somebody let me know if I'm live. I'm apparently not on live anymore. Am I live? Am I here? Can somebody let me know? All right, sounds great. Thank you. I got a phone call in the middle, and that always screws things up when you're doing a live broadcast. Anyways, I am going to cut it short. They did vote. Start off as a one abstention, but it turned into a unanimous vote for the AASEG to enter into an exclusive negotiation agreement. Now, there's a lot of work to do. This is kind of like if you look at the A's Howard Terminal project. There's a lot of work to be done. This is just step one of a lot of steps. They got to hammer out things. Right now, there's a due diligence period where they got to look into the land and whether it's, look into the soil quality and those environmental factors. I believe there's already an environmental impact report that's already there and ready to go. So they don't have to get too far, but they have to do their due diligence before they do this. They'll have to deal with community benefits. That's a big stumbling block, but those guys seem to have the community benefits thing in hand. Like I said, they've been very engaged with this project, and the entire project seems to be, a giant community benefits package, at least from where I'm standing. So a lot of work to be done before they even get to the point of having where the A's are, for instance. I'm gonna use that as an example. They're a long way from that, and at some point they will negotiate with the city and the various groups and come to that point, and then hopefully they can get it together and negotiate with the A's and come to some sort of a common agreement, because really I don't see how far this goes without the A's being involved. It's half of it's their land. Long way to go for those guys, but this is a huge step, and like I said, I wish Ray and those guys nothing but the best, and I'd love to get involved in something like this personally. Anyways, guys, have a good night. I haven't been on very much lately. I've been very busy. I'm going to Europe next week, so a lot of things going on here, and but thanks for watching. Please subscribe, Zenny62, and we'll be here. All right, guys, have a great night, and I won't see you probably, but happy Thanksgiving, not Easter. Have a happy Thanksgiving.